Welcome to the revolution. It is time for Dark Matter here on AfterBuzz TV. Stick around.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AfterBuzz TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
Hello and welcome to the Dark Matter After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. If you have not already, go to youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. Hit subscribe. We're also on iTunes and SoundCloud. Subscribe there as well. Those are my subscribing pointies. We are talking Season 3, Episode 3, Welcome to the Revolution. I'm your host, Yael Tygiel. I'm joined by my lovely panel. Natalie, why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi guys, I'm Natalee Dyer. I'm so excited to be here.
I'm so excited you joined us.
Guys.
What is your Twitter?
You can find me at Natalee Dyer, Natalee on all social media platforms.
Awesome. And we have Andrew Mena.
I'm Andrew Mena. Find me on Twitter at Andrew Mena.
Oh, that's it. And he's done.
That's all he's got to say.
Tauri!
Hi, I'm Tauri J. Miller. You can find me at Tauri J, T-U-R-I-J-A-Y. I'm also in the chat, so say hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hi.
Hi, guys.
Hi, everyone.
This episode 3, feels like we are back into this is what the season is about, and it's dark matter.
Yes.
What did you all think of this episode?
I don't think we ever stopped feeling like it was all about dark matter. And this is the season.
I felt like the double season premiere felt like this is a double season premiere.
Yes.
Okay, I could feel that. Like that was it was a long moment. The
Yes.
first episode,
Yeah.
essentially. But
Yeah.
And it was
Gotcha.
getting out of the situation we were left with. So
yeah.
that's I get what,
See,
I get what, I get what
gets
you're
it.
saying.
I get what
Yeah.
you're saying. We had to tie up a lot of ends, but I feel like it's like a similar. It's a return to form in the same form that we've always been enjoying.
Yes, a wonderful similar return to form.
Yes, I really thought it was fun. There was an aspect of it that was very reminiscent to the season or the series premiere, which we'll get into when we
I
talk
see
about
that.
it. But like,
Oh.
yeah, it was really interesting, and just to see how far these characters have come since the first time we've met them.
I'm really excited for you to explain your thoughts there.
Okay.
Me too.
But let's jump into our story. I want to start with everything happening on this Traugot colony. We meet Captain Lars, who
Yep.
I was like, he seems great.
Me too.
Yeah, and then they shot him in the
Yep.
head.
And you know what? Right before he could offer to buy him a beer.
I know.
Yeah.
He was made drink offer.
Can I just say I want like low rent Chris Pratt's head on a pike for that? Like that was the rudest shit.
I assume low rent Chris Pratt is
Captain Lars?
Didn't bother to learn his name. Garbage
Oh, the
boy.
one who
yeah,
shot
betrayed Garbage Boy.
Mr.
Yeah.
Betrayer.
Yeah, betrayed Garbage Boy.
I called him
Turrence
Douchey
is his name.
McDoucheface.
His
So.
name is Turrence.
Turrence?
Turrence.
Or Douchey
That's not a
McDoucheface.
word.
Turrence.
I
Hi.
don't.
It's not a name. It's not a word.
Turbulence?
It's a name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a
Some
name.
some names are words like yell, and some words are names. Nope,
Like
some names.
some
are, yeah.
name, some words
You
are
heard me.
names.
Some squares
Like
are
Andrew.
rectangles, but not all rectangles are
All
squares.
right,
Great.
so we're on this colony. We'll get to our new Tabore because I really want to talk about that. But we have Captain Lars explaining that their job is to secure all Traugot assets, which includes the workers.
Yes.
And I loved him so much.
I thought he was going to be a Kiergan or whatever his name was.
Chief Inspector Blue of the Galactic Authority.
Yeah. I thought he was going to be that character for us. He had the beard.
He did have the beard.
That's all that makes.
That's all that you need.
He also had beautiful
beard,
eyes.
Beautiful
He
eyes.
really
A
did.
wonderful. He wears a uniform very well.
I agree.
I mean, we
Had
got,
those broad shoulders.
we got a whole 5-10 minutes out of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was not a whole lot though.
Yeah, it was a real bummer. It was a real bummer that we traded Garbage Boy for this guy.
We didn't trade nothing.
I mean, in the narrative
we
of the
did.
show.
Tari.
Well, I think that it's established that if you love.
If I love
Six,
it-
if you
oh.
love Six.
I thought you were going to say that if I love a character, they're going to die.
Well, that's also true. The curse extends to Yells.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Oh
But
Wait,
also
we're-
Andrew, as we saw last week.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Anyone that you love will always die.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
a life lesson that we're
Yeah,
supposed
and
to
anyone I
learn.
hate will be important.
I need to
Yeah.
know who your guys' favorite characters are, so I make sure they're not my favorite characters.
It's too late. It's too late for them now.
No, we don't reveal that kind
Our
of
love,
information here.
our love already
Yeah.
extends to their deep, deep, dark souls.
So we're on this colony, and we're seeing what's happening with the people, the workers who are stuck there, and I like that when we get to the general's arrival, Six has figured out that the like turmoil was triggered to start this thing to get the general there, and I was like, oh, I remember him. We're not supposed to like him because he's a jerk face.
Yes.
That was how I said it.
I liked my favorite part about the introduction of that, like, or the reintroduction of the general is that, like, last season it was Six's whole arc was to meet him and like confront him, and like the last time it was a I forget what the in-universe name, but it was basically like a life model decoy. The clones that they made.
Clones.
Yes.
The travel clones.
Yes, the travel clones.
Is Melosi in the chat to correct us?
Melosi, where are you? Tell me what.
We're just
tell me the
gonna make
words I
up
need. But yes, the travel transit clones.
Yes.
Didn't need no Melosi.
I did.
And we get the genuine article this time around. And we get closure to his storyline, Six's storyline, before he moves on.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really nice way of doing that.
I agree. I think that's a really great way to be like, we're going to have him progress to this new story, but we got to finish up that other stuff. I also like that we introduce the general. We know he's not a good guy. And then we bring him in, and I was like, oh, are we really we're going to rehash this? No, he's just going to shoot him in the head.
Absolutely not. Yeah. I love that. It was like a John Wick moment. He's just like, nope, you're done. You're done, and I'm done dealing with it.
It's something I really want the show to do more of.
John Wick stuff?
No, just shoot people they don't like.
Yeah,
that too.
I totally get that, and
But not our boy.
Well,
Not our sweet security guard whose name we didn't learn.
right.
Captain Lars?
Actually Lars.
Yeah, I was
Captain
like,
Lars?
Yeah.
Captain
Whose
Lars.
name we won't remember after this
Lars
episode.
had a last name I just didn't care for.
Darrow. I
Lars
wrote it down.
Mars.
Lars Mars?
Yeah.
Lars Mars?
Lars
Okay.
Mars,
That's
Darrow.
better.
That's way better than the one I gave him.
What'd you give him?
Darrow, that's actually last name.
Whatever.
Oh.
Yeah.
Lars
Yeah.
Mars,
You were
Darrow.
saying something before Andrew interrupted you
Gosh.
so
With
Yeah,
rudely.
no, I
facts.
was just gonna say we had a lot of those just like shoot them and get it out of the
Yes.
way this episode, which was amazing because normally it just drags on and you're like, okay.
Yeah, bad people get to live. And I
Yeah.
like that we have two deciding we're done trying to be the good guys. It doesn't work out for
Right.
us. And so Six is like, I'm going to be a good guy, but also shoot him in the head.
See, now I was gonna say I love that Six is like trying to do this all the right way, and then it comes down to it and he's just like, no, like
Yeah.
that's the line, and we're crossing
Sorry.
it.
I liked their ideological dispute. I know everyone likes the shooty bang bang stuff.
The what?
But like shooty bang bang stuff. But I really liked.
Wait, can we say it again?
Because yes, shooty bang bang. Okay, that's enough of that. That bit's done.
Sounded like you were building up to a song,
Yeah,
frankly.
yeah, I thought it was gonna go to a song.
Shooty
Okay.
bang. Oh, okay. So now you. Go.
Okay, now that the song started.
This is my show.
Okay,
true.
you're right.
Wow.
Back on.
That was impressive.
Back on point.
Yeah.
I really liked because essentially the way that they were approaching it was like Six has always been neutral good, whereas like Two is definitely true neutral. She's not trying to do anything good or bad. She's essentially just trying to survive in this cruel world. Whereas like Six has always been trying to do the right thing, but he's not necessarily doing it in the most lawful way. And so I like that their issue wasn't just like, I want to be a hero and Two being against it. It's more that like their ideals are in conflict with one another, which is the best way to have a conflict between two people of the same team.
I was also very compelled by the just fundamental like moral dilemma of what do you do? How do you govern yourselves? And like what is the best course of action for this, under the thumb of, a newly independent group. And I thought that it was really interesting that we, instead of giving the message of like, oh yeah, you guys can make it. You can make it on your own. It's like, don't worry, I'll be your daddy, and I'll sit here and I'll hold your hand. Don't you worry, y'all. And like, I appreciate.
Happy Father's Day, by the
Father's
way.
Day.
Yeah.
But I appreciate.
This Father's Day.
I appreciate it for his story, and I agree that it gave us wonderful closure. And like during that last scene where we're saying goodbye to him, there's that moment where Two's just like, if that's what you think is best or whatever, and you're just like, I guess so. God, I guess so. If that's what you think is best, like that's the only way I can feel about it.
Well, it's funny that you say that he was like, you're not going to govern yourself. I'm going to stay and do it. They had a good point when they were like, what happens when you leave? Like, you're like, I'm saving you. Goodbye. And
Yeah.
they're like, we need help.
Yeah.
So the fact that he decided to stay is a huge deal. The fact that he has left the team, I'm unhappy about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
But he says to them, the Raza can be a symbol of hope now. And I like that he's turned this band of misfits and thieves and murderers who like came to this when they first landed and everyone was like, oh, they're the Raza. Like, yes, please stay. I feel like we didn't go to a prison to pick up our new Tabore. We went to a colony of workers and they were like, oh, welcome, thieves and murderers.
Mm-hmm.
They've become a symbol of hope.
They've become a symbol of hope. I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And I love it. I'm pretty sure it was one of the last 3 episodes because I watched them all at the same time. I watched them all at the same time.
Yes, we
so
also
it all
watched
like
on
I know, but it all
separate
blends
monitors
in
at the one
together. Where
time.
you're like, they say we're not good heroes, and yet they are.
Yeah.
I loved Six's comment where he's like, "I'm not good. I have good days," or whatever he said.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
perfect. It's like, yeah.
Well, 6 has left us. Yes,
Nope,
No,
probably
I was
not.
gonna say,
We'll get there.
that's
Well, yeah,
also-
we
one
will
is
get
coming
there.
back.
Exactly.
we'll get there in predictions.
So Starman 934 says that 6 was a little like 1.
I thought you were telling us about a character, and I was like, okay. Some character's name is Starman 134.
Oh, you remember
Yeah.
Starman
Yeah,
134?
of
No,
course.
my
Oh, yeah.
mistake.
That's what the general's real name is.
Yes.
That's always listed in the credits.
Okay, go on.
No, this is from the chat,
Thank
which
you.
again I am monitoring, so make sure to say hi.
Hi.
But Starman 934 says that 6 was a little like 1, and which leads me into what
Tell
I was
us.
saying about how this episode was very much like the first time we're introduced to the Raza crew in episode 1 and 2 of Dark Matter, where essentially there is a crew, like a group of colonists that are fighting a company, and the Raza gets in between the two sides, and it either is trying to broker a peace or not. And at the time, 1 was the one who was really trying to intervene and would have stayed behind if not for other events taking place. And now we've gotten to the same scenario, but we have so much history behind us, and we got a nod to the collection of unassociated planets, or whatever the real name of it is. And we see that 2 is definitely like, she's going for a non-violent solution. 6 is also going for a non-violent solution, but they're doing it in different ways. 6 wants to be the hero, whereas 2 just wants to make sure that it doesn't end badly for everyone.
Right.
So I like seeing that progression.
Yeah, you're right. It totally is just like, I think it was episode 2, where they go down to the colony, because episode 1 is them all waking up and going,
Yeah.
who are we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait a second. We're the bad guys. Bum bum bum.
We're dangerous. So let's talk about our new Tabore. So Tabore, as we all may remember, I hated him.
Wasn't he the Hawaiian shirts guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I found him real annoying.
Yeah, he definitely played that note kind of often.
And so our team ends up coming to this Traugot colony because they were sent a message to pick him up. But it's not him, it's new Tabore,
It's Gooby.
Adrian,
Gooby boy.
who has taken all of the annoying things from Tabore, but figured out how to make them not so annoying.
Adorable.
Yeah.
He does a good job.
I feel like he's very equally annoying, but it's so cute for some reason.
It is. He reminds me a lot of the pilot from Rogue One. You know what I'm talking about? Did you guys see Rogue One?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't remember back that
You
far.
mean the like Latin Cassio?
Not
Or
wait.
are
Not
you-
Cassio, the pilot that they saved from Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh, you're talking about the one from the night of.
Who gets like
Riz Ahmed.
Yes.
Yeah, there he is.
Oh, no. 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 Very different.
I don't think they look alike.
Oh,
I think
was like, they look very different.
I think their characters are very tonally the
Oh,
same.
I
I think
see.
the way they go, like they talk down their nose at people. Oh yeah, like that. They do this. Oh okay. Like, and I think that is a very like sweet, adorable.
Yeah.
Like I'm a good dad.
Sarah Brock
fine.
and Stephen Odin say Bodhi.
Bodhi.
name.
Bodhi. I love
Riz
that name.
Ahmed?
Yes.
Bodhi.
Riz Ahmed. And I think
Yeah.
Riz
I
Ahmed?
think
Yes?
I think the balance that you're talking about of the like the Tabore mannerisms with a smoother delivery, I think is because Tabore he was tonally different than the rest of the show. And he had a lot of, like, he was a lot more sporadic in his delivery and his movements and his way of speaking. Whereas I feel like Adrian definitely fits more into this universe, and he has a calmness about him that I think was lacking in Tabore.
I think it also, he feels a little bit more meticulous with his what's the word I'm looking for? Like he's pulling strings, and he's like making deals, and he's kind of shady, but he's doing it in a much more like suave, I'm making moves and being shady way. Whereas I think Tabor was a lot more like, I'm gonna screw you over.
Yeah, Tabor seemed like the
He's like
really,
a bull in a china shop.
Yes.
Yeah, he seemed like a really archetypical, like, oh, I'm sorry,
No,
bull
I
in
was
a
gonna
china
say,
shop. I'm so
he
sorry.
was like a bull in the china shop, and this new guy is more.
Adrian.
He's just like smoother.
like a
and,
cute little unicorn in the china shop.
exactly.
Yeah.
I like that.
He's a little pony.
You're like, they have horns. They're similar in that way. Hooves,
Yeah.
great, sure, but not the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I thought that he seems like a boy who's grown up in this world, like he lives in this world, and he had to, like, this is how he survived. The other guy seemed like he had packed his suitcase in a hurry and like thrown on what he had in that suitcase. And like he was always like, you know, in the rush, and like there was stuff sticking out. He was that guy.
I totally
He's
see.
like the agent or the insurance guy, or the door-to-door salesman guy, and he was, you know,
The
it
briefcase
didn't.
with the papers. sticking
Yeah.
out.
Exactly, yeah. And he just lent himself to this really crazy, like, manic attitude that we're just like, okay, get that out of here.
Yeah.
You have no business in space, sir. You need to calm down. It's quiet out there.
Sorry.
Which narratively really makes sense that the apprentice would be better at it than the original, in that, like, when you are shepherding someone or I guess mentoring someone, they usually take everything that is great about you, realize what is lacking in you as a mentor, and they enhance on it. So I like that narratively that is what we got. I mean, Randomo24 prefers Tabor. He's the perfect character for his job, is what he says. I disagree, but it's fine. We're all allowed to disagree.
Yeah.
Yes. But we also meet his bodyguard, Solara.
Ooh.
Oh, Solara, who is former Special Forces, Black Ops, listed a bunch of other stuff.
Solara Shockley, the coolest name. Like, are you a superhero? Yeah, give me that comic book right now.
I love everything about her,
Yeah.
especially that she says everything with a straight face.
Uh-huh.
I am terrified and turned on all at once.
As you should be.
Yeah.
I love that one of her only, like, probably less than 10 lines is, well, I gotta show up this guy. And about 2, she's
Yeah.
just like, well,
About three.
3, sorry.
3, yeah.
This is what's gonna happen.
I-
I know, I'm getting all my words wrong. I said, who did I say earlier? Forrest Whitaker or Lawrence Fishburne?
Lawrence Fishburne,
It's
yeah.
supposed to be Forrest Whitaker, and I'm drunk. I'm sorry. I'm drunk at work, guys.
Okay. Changing the subject. So Adrian tells 5 about the original crew. The original crew was Boone, Rio, so 3 and 4, Shrike and Jasper.
Yes.
Question mark?
Who the F are Shrike and Jasper? But also, when 5 says what happened to them, his response is probably Portia happened to them.
Yeah.
I want to know. It's like,
I'm pretty
hey,
sure we're gonna find out at some point.
No, this is what happened.
No, we're never gonna find
This is what
out.
happened.
we're definitely
The
gonna find
writers
out.
went, hey, you like mystery? Mystery, goodbye. That's what they did.
But the writers never do that.
no.
Yeah,
They
no.
always mention something or have something.
But I want to know now.
Like it wasn't
Okay.
just, it was like
not how
mentioned and
TV
then
works.
talked about.
Yes.
It wasn't just a name drop.
it was a name
if
drop.
If it was just a name drop, then I wouldn't expect anything from it. But it was a name drop and a what happened to
Yeah,
them.
the context
Here's
and
another
everything.
name.
Yeah.
So now we have to find out. They have to tell us, otherwise, like.
And
I know, and I trust that they will. I'm just not happy that they didn't already.
Yeah.
But even if we never meet them, I really like the idea of Portia coming in, being like, "You two, the leaders." Then we get the shooty bang bang of her just shooting them in the head
Yes.
and being like, "I'm the leader now. Look at me. Look at me.
I'm the captain now."
Yes.
Yeah, I like that too.
I actually was thinking the exact same thing, that she came, they were like, there's no room for you. And she went, okay, killed 2, went, now there's room for me.
Yeah.
And
I
one
like
more.
that.
Yeah. Love it. So Adrian and Solara want to stay on the Raza, and I love that 3 is like, no.
Yeah.
Especially because he points out to 6 that he's the last man standing. And I was like, Yeah, I want to see what that ship looks like. I want to see that.
You just want the harem ship where he's just running around. Hey, ladies, so hope it's okay that I don't wear the shirt. Is
Because
that cool?
he's gonna think that that's how it's going down.
yeah.
But with 2, 5 in the android,
Oh,
that
absolutely.
is not how it's going down.
Absolutely, but that's still how I would treat it.
He's like, you guys seen Tenchi Muyo?
You guys, I really like this anime. I think you should really get into it.
Just try it out. I'll be hanging out in the closet. So just let me know when you want us cram in there together.
And I'm doing this silly voice for him, but he's getting real Kirky. He's getting real Captain Kirk now. He's gotten so much more. He's like really like slipped into the boot of that like goofy like wisecracking. There were so many. One of the
Little bit
first
Star
lines
Wars.
of this episode was something that just made me go, "Heh," like that he said. He's just
The one about we're being followed.
I feel like I'm being followed. She's like, you are.
Yeah, I think it was earlier than that, but in any case, it was just he's just great, and he's just like totally Han Soloing this thing. It's amazing.
I think you reacted to when they were talking about Tabore, and he was like, "Well, he's an opportunistic like liar,"
Oh, yeah,
and
yep.
and everyone looks back at him and
And he
he's
goes,
like, "Yeah."
That's all he has to say. Yeah. That's it. That's the genius and the magic of
Well,
this character.
the other really great line is when they were like, "Can you talk to her?" And he's like, "Usually it's the other way. We're in new territory."
that was great. That was
Such
pretty
great lines, especially at the end of this sequence where Adrian and Solara have joined the Raza, and 5 is in charge of them now. 5 is the most responsible
Yes.
person on this ship. She's babysitting.
Yeah, and I loved his little like, oh, a younger person.
The,
He did the little
"Excuse
down the
me?"
nose.
Yeah.
Excuse
well,
me.
because he knows better.
It's great.
He
No, I know.
knows that she's on the Raza.
He's gonna fall in
Yeah.
line.
Right,
Yeah.
when he asked her, like, why didn't they space you? And she was like, I'm useful.
He's our first true team beta male, and I'm real excited to see where that leads the dynamic of this party.
Explain what you mean.
So what I mean is like all the boys are real aggro, and this boy ain't aggro. He's gonna be real defense. You know what I'm saying?
no.
Okay, cool. Well, break that down in Twitter. Tell Yael because
I
well,
assume I'm not the only person listening to you going, the hell is he talking about?
He's talking about like alpha and betas.
you know how like
I see.
you know how
I
like
see.
in
Thank
wolf
you.
cultures.
Couldn't you just say words that were English?
no.
Tari, you
No,
had something to
alpha
say?
and beta are English on their face.
That's-
They're-
Well,
That's
I mean,
fair.
technically
Yeah,
they're
but you
Latin.
never
Yeah,
said
exactly.
alpha.
Go on.
You need the alpha to understand that there's a beta.
Omega.
Okay.
Okay.
Tari? Tari, I think you have something to say.
Hey guys, Melosi has joined us.
Yay!
So,
Welcome.
Melosi, if you have a chance, give us your opinion of the alpha versus beta male dynamic, and if he is in fact aggro or what was the other term?
Defense.
Defense. If he was aggro or defense. If he is a barbarian or a paladin.
Okay.
It's aggressive
So,
or not
I got it.
aggressive?
Okay.
Yes.
Do you get
So,
context clues?
I would like to take a
Oh.
moment to thank our fans and tell them to say goodbye. This is the chance to say goodbye to Andrew, who's leaving the panel.
I'm getting spaced.
Yeah. Thank you all so much for joining us. We love the show. We're arguing about it.
We're invested.
So we ask you to do a very simple thing. We give the show to you for free. And the way we do that is by getting great sponsors, but also by you going to iTunes, hitting subscribe so you don't miss a single episode, rate and review. If you like us, you can give us 5 stars. And if you don't like us, you can give us 4 stars. And if you do that, I suggest writing what I did wrong.
Yep. That's the only reason why we get
It's the least you could do,
I
obviously.
know.
Yeah.
So I think we have some reviews.
We have a new review. It seems to be an updated review from EC from DC. Get it? EC from DC. They say, you're right. The other buttons do not work.
Told you.
5 stars. So this one was written in May, so it was just before the season came back. And they wrote to say that they want to give praise to Andrew, who throughout all the recap reviews have completely agreed with everything he's said. I assume that EC for DC agrees with everything that Andrew says, especially about Devin.
Devin.
I know.
He'll come back when we go to a different universe.
Okay.
They were one of the ones asking for AfterBuzz to do a Dark Matter after show, so they're very excited for Tari's sexy voice reviews and Yael's not so subtle kink wink emoji.
First of all, what's subtle? But second of all, yeah,
Yeah, not so subtle kink.
what's subtle? All right.
Yes.
And I think we want to thank one of our wonderful sponsors.
Yes, today's episode is brought to you by MeUndies. MeUndies are simply the softest, most comfortable underwear you'll ever wear. Once you try them, you won't want to wear anything else unless you're naked or in your swimsuit. For every other second of your life, there's MeUndies. Every pair of MeUndies is sustainably sourced and also made from micromodal and fabric that's 3 times softer than cotton. 3 times softer. That's insane. If you're used to buying packs of uncomfortable, boring underwear that only come in white, gray, black, or tan, MeUndies will change everything. Because MeUndies comes in all kinds of colors and patterns, and they release a new limited edition pattern each month that always sells out. So this month is a rainbow confetti print called Celebrate. I assume in
it's Pride Month.
celebration of
It's for
pride.
Pride, yeah.
Yes. I can't say words, guys. Try MeUndies today. Go get the Celebrate pattern before they are all gone at MeUndies.com/buzz. You'll receive a 20% off your first pair. Yes, get 20% off your first pair plus free shipping at MeUndies.com/buzz right now. That's MeUndies.com/buzz. MeUndies.com/buzz. Thank you.
Also,
Yes.
Natalie.
I'm wearing some right now. I love it.
Yeah.
They send me one every month, and then I don't ever have to go shopping, which is great because I hate underwear shopping.
Right?
As you should.
Terrible.
All
So
trying
you're
it
still
on
waiting
and-
for your Pride undies.
I'm still waiting for my Pride ones. Yeah.
I mean,
Well, you got to get them before they sell out.
before they
I
sell
know.
out.
And she'll let us all know.
Oh yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I will go after this is done, and I will go buy mine right
And
now.
where are you going to go?
To
MeUndies.com/buzz.
All right.
Yeah.
We
Look
made
at
it.
that.
Speaking of undies, nope. Let's talk
Oh, I
about
was like,
the
wait,
Android.
where is this going? I
No,
wanna know.
I want to talk about the
Ooh.
Android.
Did we
this
blink
episode.
Okay, well, we can
Yes,
definitely
she went
do
into
both
the
of those.
undies of the database in the
Ooh,
ship.
Nice.
The
Thank you.
So our android finds a data file and is trying to break through it. She's like, "It's from somebody on the ship." If we had not already seen that 5 had done this, I would have been like, "Who is it?" But because we'd already seen it, I was
was
like,
like-
"Uh-huh,
Yeah.
we know."
I had forgotten that we saw that in the clip, so I was kind of thinking that she was going to accidentally re-unlock Red Android, not realizing that that's what it was because she wiped it from her own memory. And I thought that would have been a really fun
Right.
little thing, like, oops, I Pandora boxed myself. Like,
Oh,
that could have been really
say
fun.
that
I like
might
that.
still happen because of the trailer for next week.
We'll talk about
it
that.
later.
Oh,
Yeah.
we'll get there.
but so we see Sarah's consciousness is there, and I appreciate. I get really angry on shows when somebody has a secret and then holds on to it for multiple episodes because I like
Not
that's
Android.
dumb.
Not realistic.
No, Android is like, "Hey, I found this thing," and then we have to tell 3 that Sarah's alive-ish. And that her digital consciousness is there. And 5 explains it to us. And I really appreciated that we didn't wait multiple episodes for this.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
What do we think is going to, I mean, not to get all prediction-y, but what do we think the ramifications are?
I actually have a prediction for
Yes,
it.
me
So,
So
but I
should we
think
wait?
that I'll talk about the emotional aspect of it in that I really liked 3 like his facial reaction and the way that he was taking in the news. I thought was really well acted out.
I agree.
I also really liked the idea of them playing with how all of the memory stuff happens because like even at the beginning of the season we had 5 diving into her own memories and things of that sort, and so I like that now they're really splashing around in the world that they've built with all this memory messing around. Memory mess around.
I really liked your hand
Yeah, I
cues.
like
I
that.
think they
I like
really
that
helped
splashing
illustrate. Everyone
Yeah.
who's listening to this, you're really missing out. Get on
Yeah.
YouTube, check it out. Tari's hand movements alone.
Oh, yeah.
I totally
Agreed.
agree. I thought
I agree.
I actually kind of like the way that they framed that scene was so about 5 telling everyone everything, and that's the main what we saw at the beginning. That him at the end of the table was almost like this really slow movement toward it, and the camera work on it was so like emotional, and the direction to his like just his subtle like thinking and not making eye contact with anyone. It was very powerful. I thought it was a really
So lots of applause for Anthony Lemke this
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Yes, you have completely made that character your own, and I'm so excited. It's wonderful.
Any thoughts, Natalie?
I mean, I think it's going to be hard for him. That's really all I have to say. Is
Ugh.
that
Yeah.
Because he's gonna have to decide
Say
if
the
he
least.
wants to talk to her at all.
Right. I feel like he
Is
said
it her?
goodbye.
I was gonna say, is it her? Like, is he gonna consider it actually her? Because it's
Yeah.
just her consciousness,
questions.
right? So.
Yeah. It's.
Yeah.
I think once you say goodbye to somebody and like you've said goodbye and you've started
processed it.
you've started at least processing that. It's
Yeah.
real hard to be like, oh, my mistake.
Yeah, and also like to your point, like,
Yeah.
is this her conscious? Like, how much of this is real? Like,
Yeah.
it can be considered real, right?
Right.
And is this the like? I don't know if I'm gonna blow up your prediction, but like
No.
maybe this is a downloadable thing. Like, she can be downloaded into an android. In which case,
Oh.
Ruby Rose comes
that what you
back,
were
and
going
we
with?
put her in
Yeah.
Ruby
Yeah.
Rose's body.
Yes.
that's possible. That would be
Yes.
wonderful.
I
yeah.
agree, that would
Let's
be
get Ruby
amazing.
Rose back.
Yeah.
Yeah, as the sex
I'm
bot.
Just for 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
She's like, I have all of Sarah's memories and all of Ruby Rose's sex drive.
I thought you were gonna say
Gonna
talent.
drive it off the cliff.
I want that so bad.
Great.
See what's subtle. You were gonna say something?
Sorry, it reminded me that this also felt like a really like cute subtle nod to River Song in Doctor Who. How her memories.
Oh, she's in the library.
Yes.
Way to remind me that she's
Yeah.
been
geez,
saved.
Yeah.
Oh.
River Song has been saved. River Song has left the library. Yes.
Malozzi kind of throws a little hole in our theory
I know.
by saying, "But 3 has a thing about androids."
I know, which he would have to get over.
Yeah,
in a
he
real
does have a
hurry.
th-
Why it would
He
be a
has a
great
th-
plot point.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Did he say 3 has a thing about androids?
Yes.
Is there
Oh,
ellipses?
got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
guys,
There
it's
is an
3.
ellipses.
Yeah, that implies he should have a winky face. Where's that winky face, Joe?
Oh, there's one from
Oh.
Kin from Chicago.
He
Yeah.
filled it in for us.
Yeah.
I think you misread it.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Ah.
Sorry. But 3 has a thing about androids. Who
doesn't?
Wink, wink. Finger guns,
right.
finger guns, finger
Ooh,
guns.
I like the
we-
finger guns.
Yeah.
Calm down. Okay. Rio this episode, he's training or looking for new women to join his royal guard.
Sure.
Why is it only women?
He's also doing tension
I'm not
Rio?
against it at all.
I
but
think it's great. I think
it's great too,
I
but
like
I
it.
just like
I think it's a little odd that he's going, when do you graduate?
right. It was a little creepy.
Yeah. Well, I think if we're gonna make Rio a bad guy, then let's make him a bad guy.
I'm,
No.
I'm evil now. Great. You, how old are you? Get over here.
Oh,
I'm
Terrible.
sorry. For those who don't know, I also cover the SVU show here on AfterBuzz TV. So at the end of the episode, though, he looks like he's hiring assassins, bounty hunters, soldiers. He says, "Take back what's mine, and then take out the crew of the Raza."
Yeah, he's straight up like Jabba the Hutting, like here, like calling all of the bounty hunters to. Yes, so yeah, he's
I would-
straight up evil.
Yeah, I went the same place, but it was Darth Vader. Like
Oh,
when,
yeah.
when Vader calls up everyone who's like all the bunch of like nameless bounty hunters
Yeah.
and Boba the Fett.
Boba the Fett.
Boba
the Fett. Boba the Fett.
Yeah.
It's Boba the Fett. Okay.
Okay.
Insert rest of the lyrics.
I think it's time that we head into predictions.
Oh.
Now,
Yeah,
your
this
AfterBuzz
happens.
TV.
Okay.
The predictions.
So, here's what I know about next week's episode. First of all, it was the promo we saw last week. Second of all, this is the episode that Mr. Malozzi himself has said on multiple interviews that it is a bananas episode.
Love it.
He has said it will be bananas.
Yeah.
I just want you to know that I'm refraining from going into the Hall of That Girl.
B-A-N-A-N-A-S. So 3 is having his Groundhog Day. We have our ukulele and spoon sing-along. It looks like somebody's fighting with 5, and I'm going to assume, based on the way this episode ended, that it's one of Rio's assassins. Why they're in their underwear, I don't care.
Wait,
Because
whoa.
END sponsors it.
Yes. And what
missed
looks
that.
like an evil android, but only just because she's got a red
Black
eye
hair.
and black hair and,
Yeah.
That's
and
true.
the thing on her face.
Maybe she's just a really hot android in fashion.
I mean, I agree.
Yeah,
So,
I can't disagree. So.
Yeah. So, predictions.
yes.
I'm going to say it before anybody else takes it.
Okay.
It's about 6.
Okay.
I predict that 6 is going to. Yep. I already. Shut up. So,
Go on.
6 and his new free colony, they're going to train. He's going to get other free colonies. and when the Raza needs them, they're all going to come back. I don't think this is the last we've seen of Six, because if it is, then I have very stern words for Roger and Mr. Malozzi.
All right.
That's my prediction. Yes?
I have a prediction about the android. Yes, she looks evil, but I'm assuming that she is Sarah. That is my prediction.
Oh.
Because they both have black hair and red eye.
Well, I mean, the red eye could be a byproduct.
Yeah, yeah.
Essentially, it could be that she is trying to communicate with 3. The red eyes could be just that the android's eyes are now a camera.
Oh, okay.
And so it's just her window into the real world.
Yeah.
Because like Sarah also, like the way that her bangs are as well are very Sarah-like. So that's my prediction.
Building on that, I think that I assume that the 3's Groundhog Day is somehow relevant to Sarah being in the system.
Oh yeah, maybe he tries to dive in and then gets lost in this. So essentially, he's stuck in a memory.
Yeah.
I like that.
Thanks.
I like that a lot too. If he does, or if Sarah does jump into the android's body, and if that is the android, or that is her as the android, do you think it's intentional, or do you think it's
willingly let her?
Yeah,
I
do you
was
think she
thinking the
willingly
same
let her,
thing.
or do you think it's a possession situation?
Possession.
Ooh,
Possession would be so much more fun.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think every episode going forward is going to have a different assassin trying to kill
Oh,
him.
yeah. Oh, definitely.
Before I
definitely
forget
agree with
this,
that.
Space Exorcist. You guys, Space Exorcist. Next
Ooh.
episode. Oh, guys, so
Okay.
fun. That's it.
Sure.
To get if she takes over Android's body,
Great.
we gotta get a Space Exorcist.
I mean, in my mind, it would be more like a space IT guy, where he
Ooh.
comes in and he's like, "Oh, you guys got a virus in here. We're gonna have to hack this out."
But let's
And he's
be
got
real,
like
five
a
is
really
gonna be able to
old
do
like
it.
floppy disk.
Yeah. He's like, "My
Natalie,
name's
what did you say?
I'm gonna say if we do need an exorcist, it's gonna be 5.
That's true.
That's true.
I like that.
I will say that if Sarah's going to be in Android's body, I would like that to last more than just the one episode. I would like that to be a issue that they deal with. Like, our android's gone, we have Sarah.
But do you want it to be a secret that we have to keep for a whole episode?
No, I don't think it's a secret.
Oh,
I think
okay. It
it's
just
a problem.
happens and they can't deal with it.
Right.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think it's a problem.
Or I would like it even better if like nobody knows that she's being possessed by Sarah.
Yeah, and
And like things are happening, and then it just reverts back.
Her
So like
cookie-
only at night when they're sleeping, she's there and like messing with shit. And then when they wake up, they're like, "Oh no, what the hell happened?" 'Cause that would be really hard for them to figure out.
and like her cooking will change, and then
Yeah.
they won't notice. Like they're like, "This is different somehow." I don't
Hey,
know. I don't know how to
I
put my
thought this
finger
was
on
a
it.
casserole.
But it's a salad. Oh, I know. I made a Greek salad. I know what salads are. What? You're not our android? And that's how they find
That's
out.
how they find out. Is the
Yeah,
cooking.
that's the catalyst. Awesome. Ken from Chicago has a prediction about 6, being that the colony is wiped out tragically, and a dejected 6 wants revenge and rejoins the Raza crew.
No,
Oh.
No.
you're wrong.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I
No,
didn't-
but that would be cool.
that would be the opposite of this whole episode.
Right.
I know, I kind of like
It would
that.
unmake the episode, essentially.
Right,
It's so
but like,
funny.
it would, but on the other hand, it would essentially reinforce 2's point in
Right.
that like they've been burned. Anytime they try to do something good, he like it will end tragically, and so essentially him coming back would be like, "You right, girl. You right."
Well,
Good
and it
equals
might
bad.
actually change his character though.
Oh man, I hear
Like
you.
it would force his character from being this like neutral good or whatever you said he was earlier.
Yeah.
And he might turn to
The dark
more
side.
true neutral or even like
I
become
think
chaotic good,
that
maybe.
6 is going to have trouble with his colony and is going to call his old friend Anders. They together will rule this colony, and then when 6 returns to the Raza, Anders will come with him. And then we'll have to deal with this love triangle between 3, 6, and Anders.
And they'll rule the galaxy as husband and husband.
It'd be so great!
It would be real cute.
I'm in. If that's what's gonna happen, I'll keep watching.
We're only
Only it.
Only if.
No, I'm watching.
That's a lot of pressure, Malozzi. I hope that's what happens.
Well,
Only then.
I also have made claims that I would only watch if things happen, but no one
Yeah.
cares what I
No,
want.
yeah. I'm still waiting on the
I mean,
werewolves.
we got. That's true.
Yep.
I mean, we got the like the scene between Anders and 6. That was for you.
Anders and 6.
Sorry, Anders and 3.
When they were on top of each
yes.
other?
Yeah.
So that was to keep you watching.
Yeah,
And it
that was all
did.
for you.
Yeah.
It did.
It worked.
If you really want it,
It
all for you.
Thanks.
If you really need it, All for you.
Is this a song?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely a song.
Is this one of those music songs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
All
I
right,
don't know.
well, before we let everyone go, I think I want to thank everybody for joining us.
You think you
yes.
do. You're not sure.
Not sure.
Make that call later.
But I also think that now would be a good time to let everybody know that they can find amazing, awesome Dark Matter shirts.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, on Redbubble. If you look up OTTs, OTTES,
Yes.
One True Tees,
Oh.
you can find Anders Lives shirts. That's
Nice.
right, because Anders is alive.
He does live.
Yeah.
That shirt is accurate.
Yeah, and coming soon, more shirts from fandoms such as Winona Earp, Killjoys, and of course more from Dark Matter. So I'm gonna plug that right there.
Awesome.
But until next week, where can people keep up with you, Tauri?
You can find me at Tauri J. It's TURIJAY. That's on Twitter and Instagram. You can also find me on the Doctor Who After Show, 8 o'clock Sundays, Pacific Daytime Time. Daylight time.
Pacific Daytime Time.
Daytime time.
But also, they can find Redbubble.
You can also find Designs by Tauri J on Redbubble.
Wait, really? You got what?
OTTs.
OTT.
One True Tees.
One True T.
Those are your teas.
Those are,
T's. One True T.
Okay.
The T stands for Tari.
Is the context that
One True
you
Tees.
are the owner and proprietor of this t-shirt store? Is that the context?
One
I'm
True
getting?
T.
Okay.
Andrew!
Hey guys, I'm Andrew Mena. You can find me on Twitter at Andrew Mena, on Instagram at the Andrew Mena. And right now, check out my Dungeons and Dragons podcast. It's going on every Saturday. We're up to episode 3. We got another one coming out next week. It's gonna be a lot of fun. It's called Welcome to the Dungeon Hole. You can find it on Twitter at Dungeon Hole. DUNGEONHOLE.
Natalie.
hi. You can find me at Natalee Dyer, NATALEDYER, on all social media platforms. I am also on the Dungeon Hole podcast, so definitely check that out. I believe episode 4 ends with a real fun roll by me.
Yes, good
and,
stuff.
I'm also on the Fear the Walking Dead panel, which is Sundays at 7 o'clock.
You seemed confused.
I was. I don't know what day it is.
I'm Yael Tygiel. I'm everywhere at Yael Tygiel. My new podcast, and by new I mean old podcast, Intimate Interrogations, is back. Or it's on its way back. Intimate Interrogations. Sometimes it is filthy. Sometimes it is not. It's free on iTunes and everywhere else. I don't know where else it is. I'm everywhere on Twitter at Yael Tygiel, YAELTYGIEL. And I would like to thank Her Universe for the lovely shirt. It is a Wonder Woman shirt. Check it out on Instagram at Yael Tygiel. And we'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later. OTT.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.